folks. I'm on the road. This is Roxanne, and yes, this is coming to you from the road. It is Saturday, July 5th, just before 7 o'clock in the morning, and I am on my way. It's currently 88 degrees and very, very hazy. I don't understand what the haze is from, but we have had an exceptionally, not like overly windy, but we have had a couple of very windy days, and small little monsoon came through, so perhaps that's something to do with this. But anyways, I am on the road. I'll take some more photos or some more video and stuff as I go through my drive, if I see anything interesting. But I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Well, I am almost to Flagstaff. I decided I needed to stop at a rest stop to take a little bathroom break. This is really cute. I haven't been to this little one here. Beautiful view out there. Look at that, it's so pretty. It's nice. It's got a picnic area here. And of course it's got all the desert cactus, the desert trees, but we're also up between 4,000 and 5,000 feet above sea level at this point. We are getting up into the mountains, but still deserty. It's a very, very nice looking rest stop here. Just thought, it looks like it has, oh, big light pole, no flag on it. Interesting, there's not a flag on this really tall pole. Look at how blue that sky is, guys. Looks like over there in that far building they have some soda and snack machines. Oh, look, a little lizard. See it by the trash can? Just went behind that. Lizzie, where'd you go? There he goes. There goes little Lizzie. There he goes. Into the dirt. Lizards are so cute. What else we got here? So this is this side of it. Another little picnic area. And then the little snack station, I guess. So this is good. I got out and walked a little bit. So I'm gonna head back in the car and get on the way. All right, stop number 2. I am at a gas station in Holbrook. The new car does not go as far on a tank of gas as my Sorento used to, so I'm gonna have to stop for gas more often. But anyways, looks like I just got my 30 bucks. This is the stupidest gas station in the world. It has a thing out here to scan it, but it won't let you. You have to go inside, and then you got to prepay. And I don't know how much gas I'm going to need, but I got to prepay. Ugh, frustrating. Okay, I'm going to get back on the road. Bye. All right, well, I made it to New Mexico. So, I'm now no longer in Arizona. We are in the state I hate the most. Apparently I'm 5 miles into it. So the reason I hate New Mexico is coming up here, but I have to add a little bit because I accidentally deleted one of the videos. So this is like the next video clip is partway into the story already, because I tried 4 or 5 times and it wouldn't stop. So it was in 1996 that this incident took place, and we were driving from Denver to Lake Havasu through Albuquerque, New Mexico. I don't think I'm ever going to get done with this story. My phone keeps falling off. All right, so since I'm sitting here, I'm just going to hold it. Anyways, so that would mean that Brian was only 5. He hadn't started kindergarten yet because it was March. All right, so we were taking our spring break vacation and going to Lake Havasu, and so we would go down, hit Albuquerque, spend the night because it's a halfway point, and then drive out to Havasu. So that's what we did. We spent the night in Albuquerque. We woke up early in the morning and took off, and we drove about 75 miles into Grants, New Mexico. And it had been cold. It had snowed a little bit. And there was a little bit of ice around. And my daughter and I got out of the car and we walked onto the sidewalk to go get into the building. It was one of those truck stop stations where they have a restaurant in it and stuff, and we were going to get some breakfast. So it was very, very slippery. My daughter and I were very, very careful. But my 5-year-old son, who was not very careful, just bounced out of the car, bounced up to the sidewalk, and went boom, right on the ground, hit his head. He was on my husband's side, so my husband was in the process of getting him out of the car, and he got him out, and he was closing the door and locking the door, and my son took off to the sidewalk before because he saw me and my daughter there. So when my husband saw my son fall down, he, of course, immediately just shut the door and went straight to him like any good parent would to make sure he's okay. Well, all of a sudden, I look over and I see my husband doing the famous Charlie Brown fall. When Lucy pulls the football away, I saw his feet go up in the air and bam, he landed on his back. He hit the back of his head. And that was all she wrote. It was very scary because at that point then, didn't know exactly what was going on other than he was bleeding a little bit back in the back of the head, but on the top of his head, where your scalp, where your bones up there touch, started to separate because his brain started to swell. And Grants is a podunk little town. They grabbed a they called an ambulance. It took forever to get there. The ambulance came, and there's a truck pulling up here, and I just want to make sure it wasn't going to hit me. Anyways, the ambulance came. They took him to this little hospital there in Grants, and they're like, we don't have the equipment here to do anything for you. So we're going to take him by ambulance over into Albuquerque. So we had to drive back to Albuquerque. Well, I couldn't, I had 2 kids, and my husband went in the ambulance. He was out of it. My son was throwing up. I had to drive back to Albuquerque, go over there to the hospital, try to find the hospital, the university hospital, and then figure out what's going on with him. Had my son checked out at the same time. He had a mild concussion. My husband had a frontal lobe contusion. They did whatever they do to look at your brain. And yeah, he had a frontal lobe contusion. So he ended up with a TBI, traumatic brain injury. He was in the hospital there for 4 days, but they didn't have private rooms. He was in a ward, like in the old days. He was in a ward, and he had a head injury, and so his head was throbbing, and there was a lady in there screaming at the top of her lungs, and he's got this headache, and so he's getting sicker and sicker from that. And they finally released him after, 4 or 5 days, and by then my daughter had started getting sick, and she was throwing up, and then I started throwing up, and I had to drive home back into Denver from Albuquerque very sick. And so that's why I hate New Mexico, because of that station. They we tried to find a lawyer. You can't get one in Colorado because the accident happened in New Mexico. So I had to find a New Mexico lawyer. I don't know anybody in New Mexico. The lawyer I got was terrible. I got one that was right there in Grants, but he was awful. And after a year, he handed us off to another lawyer in downtown Albuquerque who did a mediation thing, but we got totally screwed royal on all that. My husband ended up with a injury that lasted him the rest of his life and probably caused a lot of the further damage, but we had bad lawyers. But anyway, so that's why I don't like New Mexico. Whenever we would drive through here, every time we'd go past Grants, everybody would hold their breath, try to get past it. My husband would always get a headache, literally get a headache. It just was not fun. So that's why I don't like New Mexico. So, anyways, I am now just outside of Albuquerque. I need to figure out what I'm going to do because it is, I guess, 2 o'clock here because the time changed. I'm on mountain time now. So it says 1:19 on my watch in my car, but the time didn't change yet. So it's 2:19. So I know I'm not staying here in Albuquerque. And I have 200 miles left on my tank of gas. So I could make it up a ways, up I-25 a ways. I don't know how far I am from I-25, but anyways, I'm gonna, there's a gas station over there, right over there. I'm gonna go there, check out the little girl's room, and probably grab a couple minutes of close my eyes, and then I'll be back on the road. So this is stop number 3, guys. All right, talk to you in a little bit. Oh boy, look what I'm driving into. We got a bunch of clouds, big thunder boomer clouds. I gotta get through these mountains. I got 61 miles to Las Vegas, New Mexico, so I can get some gas. And we'll see if I decide to stop or if I'm gonna keep going. Wish me luck. All right, folks, I am in Las Vegas, New Mexico. And this is the Las Vegas, New Mexico Strip. It's one big long street that goes from one end of town to the other. I've been through this town many times, driven up and down this road, but right now I'm looking for a gas station with a bathroom. So, on this side of the street. Hopefully I'll find one. All right, yeah, this is Las Vegas, New Mexico. Pretty cool, huh? Well, I made it. Back home to Colorado. 25 years I lived here. I never stopped at the sign before. And it's an overlook, scenic overlook. So I'm going to cross the street here while there's no cars coming. It's cold. No, not cold, but windy. Few raindrops. Look how gorgeous, you guys. I'm sorry, Colorado is just absolutely got to be the most beautiful. I'm home. All right, another 3 hours up to my son's house. I think I might make it tonight. All right, I just had to pull over and film this, you guys. Oh my goodness. Now, from where I'm at, because I came way down off the freeway, you can't really see the lower foothills. Oh, but look at that sky. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Just gorgeous. And now I'm completely lost. I have no idea where I am. I know I'm in Colorado Springs. I'll find my way.